This is Mellon, and for the last 2.5 years, she has been building in this very hardcore world. She's been hard at work making villages and towers and factories and apartments and gazebos, and she's been doing it all by herself. She's survived nearly 3,500 days in this world, and I bet that if we're really nice, she may just give us a tour. Oh, she's coming over. Okay, let me talk to her. You will? Oh, amazing. Enjoy. Where do I even begin on this world? I have truly built so much since I last gave you guys a world tour, so there's much to cover. But just in case people missed the first one, which I did, I believe at around a year, we are now at 2.5 years, and I'm on almost day 3,500, which is crazy to think about. But I will give you guys a quick little tour of where everything started. So this is my lovely starter base. Oh, and if you see my lovely little guys with their Christmas hats, I have a little resource pack installed right now for the holidays. If you want it, it's called, honestly, just Christmas mobs. Be aware though, it does make your cows not have noses, so my cow barn that I had in the first world looks a little even less humane than it did. But this is in fact my starter area, and I will give us just a quick run through since obviously it's been quite a while since I have truly lived here. But you can see it where I had my humble beginnings and my first farm, which did drop into an auto smoker, which was really nice for the time being. This area leads out into what I would call my industrial zone. So this is where a lot of my farms are. This right here is one of my favorite quality of life farms, since this is my lava farm that goes directly down into my super smelter, and I can put whatever I want to smelt in here. I can take you down here. I don't have a proper entrance since I usually do just fly into it like this, but it is incredibly helpful since all of those lava buckets do go in through this or this one. They go through one of them so that they go in here and I can get everything that I need smelted quickly. And this also does lead me to my first ever farm that I had in this world, which was a skeleton farm. I got incredibly lucky in this world with a very surface level skeleton spawner, which I turned into a farm really quickly. Now, this farm actually has been pretty useful to me in my recent projects since I've been using a lot of bone meal and bone block. Oh my gosh, that is too much. But this is my very humble killing chamber. I never really loved it, but it does take us down into the collection system. Now this is all auto sorted for right now just to go into bones. I may end up doing an auto crafter into bone meal and into bone blocks, but for right now I just have it open to whatever I want it to be. Now this right here with the arrow down is actually incredibly important. I don't actually know what's behind here. I think this was just, oh, that's, when I was building, okay, well, that's there. This right here, though, is a very important block. I got incredibly lucky in this world, not only with a surface level skeleton spawner here, but a surface level zombie spawner that I can spawn at the same time if I'm standing on this block. So you'll see that I won't really AFK here, but for my starting soon screens, I will sometimes have the viewers be looking at my lovely axolotls, and I will be posted up there. Taking these steps down, we see obviously our lovely zombie spawner. Now I actually love this room. This room has quite a significant upgrade, I would say, from the look of the other one, as well as I've got some friends that I will do something with eventually. But I love this area with all of the copper and the totally auto-sorted area. Very auto-sorted, very good. Very good. But if we squeeze past, okay, squeeze past these guys, it takes us to something I need to put string on, but it takes us to our fishing village apartments. Now, I don't even remember if these were up when I did my very last world tour, but I absolutely love these. They were the first thing that I got done in the fishing village, and all of these are actually furnished. I did post a short on this recently, so I won't walk you through all of them, but just know that they are all furnished, which is something I'm really proud of. There is also a minecart that is intended to be a way for you to travel, but somebody sort of hijacked it. All of these ones here I would consider the apartments, but if we go over here to this larger one, this one serves a little bit of a greater purpose. So this has all of my wood storage, which is very helpful, and you can see I have been expanding on it as well, which is why I gave myself a couple extra height blocks. But this also is what I would consider my getaway condo. Now I have an entire video on me building this one, so if you're curious on how I did the interior of this, make sure to check that out. But I am really proud of this one. Gives us a lovely view of the lake, which is all new builds. Now when I say new, I mean new to, well, the long form YouTube people. If you've been following my shorts, you have seen them, but since my last world tour, that is all new. Now, since it is nighttime and the shaders are lovely at night, I will actually walk us down by the lake so we can see the beautiful gazebo, and you can see some of the lanterns that are already starting to shine. Heading up here, we do get into a couple of functional builds. This one right here is, truth be told, not the most efficient farm of all time, since I do already have a cactus farm, but this is a cactus flower farm. It's not amazing, but it fit this little building. This one I still have yet to occupy, but it's very small. I don't know what could go in here. But a little further up these steps here, we have my skeleton horse stables. Now I say skeleton horse because, oh, the texture pack. They're actually not skeleton horses. They're skeleton reindeer. Honestly, it is all the same to me. I do have one real horse in here, and that is the only horse that I have tamed in this world, because the rest are all skeleton horses. Now I love skeleton horses in Minecraft, which is why I got so many. If you would like any tips on how to get a skeleton horse of your own, I believe I can link the video down below. Now before we get into the rest of the builds, I do want to give you guys a quick little fly around of the areas that we have finished. Now we have an area over there that you can sort of see with my beacon beam, but I want to just show you the top-down view of our fishing village. Heading on top of my starter base, it gives us a really clear view. Now these right here are obviously the apartments that I just walked you through slightly, and this is what I would consider the oldest part of the fishing village. Another thing you can see it pretty clearly up here is actually some of our tribute builds. Now this one right here is a statue of one of my Twitch viewers with their late dog Lexi, and then this one is the back is the Snouse, which is another tribute build, and that observatory is one as well. Now if you're wondering what that means, do I have any like light source? It's kind of dark. That'll work. Now, if you're wondering what a tribute build means, I have streamed this entire world live on Twitch for the last 2.5 years. And in the last year or so, I have added an option on a wheel that I have that gets spun for every 5 gifted subs over there, where you can get a tribute build in my very own hardcore world. Now, there are a couple that I haven't finished yet. I'll take you over to them now, but there are also a lot that I have done. Now this one right here, I won't take you all the way down because it's a little mob spawny, but this will be a racetrack if you couldn't tell. Ooh, the sun is bright with shaders. Truth be told, I usually only ever use shaders to show my build, so I'm kind of not used to seeing my world with shaders either. Going around the bend from one of these tribute builds is the area that I created actually for my 25th birthday. Now this area is super fun and what I have affectionately called my fairy village. Now there's no village, it's just an area, maybe one day though. But there's lots of candles floating around as well as little balloons which were to celebrate my birthday and a couple places where you can sit. Now these are also very important trees here since they are 3 of the only 4 that I have in my entire world. I've been trying to get better at them. Hi, Editor Mel here. I meant custom trees. We have many trees, but go on. But I have these all here with a couple custom mushrooms, and I do plan on expanding this area in the future, possibly all the way down this hill. Speaking of down this hill, I will take you over the track that I used before really take you over the track that I used to use before I had my elytra, which you got a clearer view of in my last world tour, so make sure to check that out if you do want to see it. But this right here is one of my favorite of the tribute builds. Now, Snouse is exactly what you'd expect. It is the snail house. Unfortunately, this house is not furnished, but he is absolutely adorable and was modeled after one of my viewers' snails, obviously, whose I believe the name was Verstappen, which is a F1 something Max. Please let me know. I don't know for sure. But he does have a little snail trail that goes all the way to the ocean here, and this is the area that I may have this entire biome drip down into. For now though, this guy does stand alone, watching over the area that has yet to be built on. Since it is now raining in our lovely fishing village, we will head down to the water, which makes sense for it to be raining on, honestly. Now this is still an extension of what I would consider the older part of my world, which is why it has this muted block palette and still a couple functional builds within all of the little houses. So this one right here is my glowberry farm, super simple, gives me all that I need, and it has a little bit of a green room vibe. I've been really loving using the copper in this area, especially now with all the new blocks. If you're wondering why you're seeing a lot of little signs on all of these, I almost called these mangrove trees. What is that? Cherry. All these cherry trees. This is also something for my Twitch viewers. This right here though is a free channel point redeem that you get just for watching for a certain amount of time, and you're able to get your name in the world for as long as I have it. Both of these houses on the fishing village have a really good view of the lake and of our boat and of Gordon Ramsay. Now, I don't remember if this was a tribute build. I want to say that it was, but if I just built it on a whim, then you know what? We were watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen, so it's possible. Now this area is a little bit unfinished, as you can see by the terrain work not being amazing, but we do have a little extra storage area in here, as well as a couple boats that you can take if you want to go on the water. Speaking of boats, this is one of my favorite builds in the world. It may be small, but it is absolutely adorable. I did an entire video on this boat if you want to see the design, as well as it's downloadable on my Ko-fi account. This lighthouse I believe you saw in the previous world tour, but there is still nothing in here and nothing at the very top, although whenever my beacon is not in use, since I currently only have one, I will put it in here so that it'll actually look like a lighthouse, but for right now it's just a cute place to stand. From up here we have a really good view of the newest part of my world. Now we obviously down here have our beautiful gazebo. Now this one I do love very much. It took me a really long time, truth be told, to design this, but I feel like it came together really nicely and has a nice center point for my world, giving it a lot of history. I also created for myself a little parkour, which I'm not amazing at. Oh, maybe I am. This area does lead me to my moss farm, which is one of my most used farms in this world, and I also love the design. Now, I may get shot out in here since I do have a lot of my pillagers who I'm working on taming and breaking all their crossbows so that I can have them live in my mushroom village, which I will show you later. I wish that I could explain how this worked, but I truly looked up a tutorial, and whenever it breaks, I just pray to God that I can fix it. But I absolutely love this thing. Oh, here we go. Now over here, like I said, is my mini mushroom village. Now this might be my favorite village that I have ever tried to make in Minecraft. It is just truthfully adorable. It's all a bunch of small builds similar to the apartments, and most of them are furnished. Now not all of them, since I have a couple of my pillagers that I am taming in here, but a lot of them are, and I truly, truly love this area. I am eventually going to expand this all the way where these torches are and where all of this land has been cleared out, but I'm currently waiting until I have enough resources to build up what is going to be my giant mushroom. Now, when I say giant, I mean a really big mushroom. Now, ironically, this is my mushroom farm, so I have to be at the mushroom farm in order to cover it up, but if I take us back here using FreeCam, I can show you just how big I want the mushroom to be. Realistically, I would like the stem to be here and have the top be going even over this mountainside. Now that's going to be a lot of blocks. Unfortunately, a lot of mushroom blocks as well, so you can see all of the resources I've been gathering. It's a lot. Over here though, we have a little bit more of the magical side of my world, which is an extension sort of that fairy biome I showed you over there, but a lovely little fairy lake. Now the use of amethyst over here is probably one of my favorite additions, and as I'm sure you can hear, we do have our happy gas docking station up there as well. And oh my goodness, since the copper update, all of my, they're all getting exposed, and I am gonna have to fix it, and I don't want to. But if we ignore it, that is my happy gas docking station, which I can take us up to now. Now one of my gas is missing because it is over at my mega base project over there, but one of them is here. I truly love this station. They can just float out, and I'm sure she's absolutely loving the rain right now, but it is the perfect size for them to get in and out, and let me know if you'd like a tutorial on that as well. I know a couple people have asked, but if a couple more do, I'll do it. Now before I take us to the observatory, which is another one of my favorite builds, where, oh my goodness, there's more copper rods being exposed. I can't look at it. But before I take us over there, I will take us to a couple, or I guess one more of the smaller builds, which is my little coffee house. Now this build is so small, but I truly love small buildings and building on a player scale. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen them with the Santa hats on. That's incredible. But this is one of my favorite of the smaller builds. It is truly just a little cafe that overlooks, well, it overlooked nothing for a while, but it will eventually overlook the mini mushroom village. Finally though, I will take you to probably my favorite build I have ever designed, which is the observatory. Now, fair warning, the bottom floor is not designed yet, okay? As I'm sure you can see. There's nothing under here, there's nothing to see. Just don't look, okay? This area though is my map room. Now there are actually a couple maps that I need to update on here, but you can see just how much my world has grown from this area that I showed you last to all of this. All of that, all of this. It's a lot. Unfortunately, with the copper rods being green, it's a little less lovely, but again, you can understand. You can see the vision. You know, I actually will take a nap up here. I try to sneak beds into every single build because I refuse to bring one with me for some reason. Okay, there you go. You can see a little bit more of the roof now. Ow. We actually do need to update 2 of these maps. Would you mind if we did those together? Now this area that I'm going to be flying down into is truly just this area. It's nothing crazy, but I do like to keep my map updated, so it's good a time as any. There we go. Now this area looks a little bit more accurate. Before flying up to the beginning area, I realized that I completely forgot to show you one of the most integral farms in my entire world, my mud factory. Now, while this farm may not be automatic, it is an incredibly easy way for me to spend 15 to 20 minutes gathering many packed mud block, which I use all across my world in paths and buildings. Taking you up to the older area, we have one newer build that is not entirely finished. That is my axolotl museum, if you couldn't tell. Now, like I said, it's not entirely done because you can see that I never finished doing this. You can see there was an idea that you could boat through here, but I never did it, but we can get the idea nonetheless. This build actually took me way longer to construct and design than I would like to admit, but at the time being, it was the biggest build that I had ever attempted in this world. It was also an entirely different block palette from the original area, as you can see. Heading on inside though, I do really like this. You can look up and see every color of axolotl in these little pillars. This one, of course, being the white axolotl. As you can see by the banner, I didn't know how to do a white one, so I did gray. But over here we have the pink axolotls, and over here the yellow, and of course over here the brown. Now if we head up these stairs, since I'm sure you're noticing that we missed the blue axolotl. I had to use purple for the banner because I feel like that's a little bit closer to their color, but it doesn't quite match, but again, the point is clear. This area up here also allows you to see a lot of the different axolotls a little bit better since their tubes are clear from up here as well. If we head down to the first pillar here, there is a water elevator that leads us up to the top. Now there is technically nothing up here, but you can again look down and see them in every pillar. Oh my gosh, these... I'm happy about the update. I'm happy about the update. I'm happy about the update. I'm happy, I like it. In this starter area that is to the left of the, or I guess to the right, depends on how you're looking at it. I believe most things that are here in the starter area you guys have seen before if you've seen the first world tour, but if you haven't, make sure to check that out. But like I said, this whole area here is a lot of the industrial work, ouch. So a lot of my farms, like the skeleton farm, which I showed you, the iron farm, the old axolotl breeder, my brewery station, my sugarcane farm, and my cactus farm. On this side of things is my villager trading hall, my farmer's market, my villager breeder, and then for whatever reason I went completely nonverbal while recording this, but I am walking through my villager trading hall and into the main way that I make money in this world, which is my automatic melon farm. Now if you go down through this trap door, we do have a secondary melon farm, although I'm currently making a lot of jack-o'-lanterns, so it's pumpkins for now. This potato farm also links up to my villager breeder, which is incredibly useful. Oh, and my bamboo block farm, which definitely needs to be cleaned out. My villager trading hall is definitely not used nearly as much as it was a year and a half ago at the first world tour, but it was very helpful when I had it at the time. Although I still buy lots of glass and bookshelves from these guys, I do think I will be needing to expand, not on this one in particular, but go on to making a full library for my librarians and many other. I think the only few things in this area that are new to you guys would be this villager breeder, which used to just be a hole in the dirt as villager breeders do start, but this is now the love shack. I can't remember if the masonry was new to you guys as well, but this is sort of a little bit of what I want to do with my other villagers when I know that I will need a lot of them, which is why I had a lot of these guys, because I needed many a quartz for the Axolotl Museum. The final area that I do not think you have seen is this spot over here. Goodness. But this right here is my wool farm. Now, usually all of these are rainbow colored over here, but I have been needing lots of purple and blue glass, which I will purple and blue wool, which I will show you why in a little bit. But this is your very standard wool farm and nothing crazy. I just switch it to whatever color. Whoa. Something is very wrong. They're flashing. Well, that is just neat, huh? To the left of my wool farm is my little botanical gardens. Now, again, I do think I will be expanding this area since it is very small for right now, but we also have tucked in here another one of my tribute builds. Now, this is one of my long-term subs, Cats, and she watches over our lovely botanical gardens. There are a couple things in this area that I haven't shown you, like our lovely windmill or our chicken jockey. But the last area that I want to show you is our newest of the new. Now this is a mega build. Now I am a very, very small build girly. I like making lots of builds that are very small that come together to make one massive thing. So I wanted to challenge myself by taking on not only this little biome, but also this entire dark oak forest, which I haven't even cleared out yet. But this area right here is really, really coming together. It is a slow process, but I could not be more happy with how everything is turning out. My whole goal is to make a forgotten and fallen kingdom, and I feel like with this bridge being the newest addition, it is really starting to take shape. I also have a foggy glass lake effect going on here, which honestly with shaders you can see right down to the bottom, but I don't typically play with shaders, but I still might expand that in the future. But this will eventually be going not only from what will be our new storage room, but it will be going down all the way to the giant cave entrance that I have down here. Please don't mind the mobs. I haven't lit this area up. But that right there is a entrance to a giant lush cave that I want to have this floating down into. Now this really is entirely different from the style that you've seen me building in before, so I'm a little nervous about it, but very excited, as I think it's always a good idea to challenge yourself and push yourself even in a game like Minecraft. Plus, I like that you can still see my village from over here. With this area being shown, I believe that is the conclusion of what I have built in my nearly 3,500 day hardcore world. If you enjoyed any of what you saw here today, make sure to follow me on Twitch, as I am live almost every day building in this world, as well as a couple other fun projects. And of course, make sure to like and subscribe here as well. Again, my name is Mellon, and this is my 2.5 year hardcore world, and thank you for letting me share it with you. Goodbye.